Oh, well. If it isn't Mr. Diego Pavia doing it again, Auburn falls. If you missed it, I don't know how you could have. Final score, 17-7. What a performance there by Auburn. Hugh Freeze. Hotty toddy, says Tim, and I think Ole Miss still scoring. The game's been over for half an hour, but if you missed it, Ole Miss 63-31 at Arkansas. Ole Miss looking elite. They look like they're ready for Georgia. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt does what I predicted, beats Vanderbilt 17-7. Auburn looks ready for Maine. Vandy's bowl bound before Auburn. Auburn's not going to get to bowl bound unless they win out. Let's throw up this Auburn schedule here. I mean, they're just awesome. Oh, we got Cousin Shane in here. Hold on a second. But here's Auburn's schedule. So this is not updated, but we are now 3-6. We're gonna have to win out. ULM, you could maybe win. Maybe ULM's really good this year. A&M's going to whoop your ass. At Alabama's going to whoop your ass. And Hugh Freeze going to be sitting on the hottest seat in the SEC, as predicted. Shane, we say 100 crazy things. One of them's bound to be right. I got this one at least.
Yeah, it looks like you nailed this one, Mike. You know, the Hugh Freeze effect. And you know, it's funny. Even during this game, I caught him a couple times talking about, you know, if he just gets a couple more good recruiting classes, they'll be right there in the upper echelon of the SEC, Mike. And I mean, I don't know. How long you waiting here? I don't think this was Vanderbilt's. This may have been Vanderbilt's worst football game this year, and you still didn't find a way to win it at home on the Plains. Sold out crowd. Absolutely embarrassing.
I'm glad you said that, Shane. I'm going to throw up this little meme I just made right before we hop on here. It's Diego Pavia now 3-0 against old Hugh. He's Hugh's dad here. But, yeah, that is something I should have already said. So, again, that's why you get paid the big bucks, buddy. I mean, this was not even like a clean game. This was, it was, I texted you during the game. It's like painful to watch Vanderbilt. They were so ineffective. Yet they won that game by 10 points in Jordan-Hare Stadium here. Shane, what I am told is one of the finest places to play in the country, which it is. But, again, it speaks to how poorly Hugh Freeze is coaching this football team. Peyton Thorne was awful. They're not running the ball. Jarquez Hunter had damn near 300 yards last year.
I thought he was hurt
last week. That's what I thought. They were like, well, they're not giving him the football. He must be hurt. Okay, critical drive. He's back in there, and they're just feeding him when they're down 10. I mean, it's completely nonsensical. How about Hugh taking a timeout with 2 minutes and 1 second? He wanted to save that second, Shane. And, oh, by the way, they just stopped Vanderbilt, so they're punting. So he saved it for 1 second, so Vanderbilt has a punt, and it's a clock stoppage anyway. I mean, how can these guys be making $7-8 million, don't know how to utilize a timeout? That always gets under my skin, but it was even more pathetic today.
What do they do, Mike? I mean, seriously, you're the AD of Auburn. I mean, do you let this continue to bleed out? Do you just wait? I mean, are you in bed with Hugh Freeze, which is probably not a good place to be, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Is this just this is it? You hitched your trailer to this tractor, and this is as far as it's going to pull? Because I don't think that you could fire Hugh Freeze after this season, but geez, Mike, you know, I mean, not making a bowl game is what the standards are slowly changing in Auburn the wrong way.
Right, and it's the same thing I've been saying, Shane. When all you got to hang your hat on is we got some recruits coming,
yeah,
that doesn't cut it anymore. Not at this level, and not with the transfer portal. And hell, I don't know that any of these players are going to leave that they've already signed, but I think they will if they keep sucking like they did today and they don't have a quarterback. Why would you stay there if you're an elite receiver and you can't throw the football? Yeah. Why would you stay there if you're a running back and you may be, a top 3 running back in the SEC, if not the country, and they don't hand you the ball? I mean, it's nonsensical. And the only thing that Auburn did well today was defense.
Yeah.
And Hugh Freeze got no hand in that. So what do? I mean, they're going to stick with him because, this is the deal they made with the devil. They kicked the last couple coaches out of there. But he'll be back, but it's going to be the same thing next year, Shane. This is not getting any better. Hugh Freeze, his offense is no longer state-of-the-art, and everyone's caught up to it. And he clearly does not know how to even identify a quarterback to run it, apparently. I ain't going $1 million to get myself. They're probably going to have to spend about $5 million now, and they'll get they may get 6 wins next year before they fire his ass.
He should at least got Pavia so he, wouldn't lose to him.
How about Cousin Grayson, though? He says Cousin Shane needs to put that makeup back on for picking Arkansas to win.
Yeah. And actually, Mike texted me. He says, you need to throw that dark eye makeup on. So next pod, I'm gonna be wearing the baby blue with the damn dark eye mask. But I will say, Mike, on that game, brother, they are a playoff team. I've been wondering all season. It's like they needed just to all of a sudden surprise us, all of a sudden wake up, and by God, they did it this week, brother. Ole Miss. We're watching the Florida-Georgia game right now. I don't know what's gonna happen in this one, but I can tell you right now, this Ole Miss-Georgia game is gonna be damn fireworks, son.
Ooh, yeah. So if Ole Miss, who Trey Harris, I don't even think he didn't even suit up, did he? I mean, I know he suited up, but he didn't play, right? So
that's right.
Let's assume that they were safe. I think they felt pretty good about this one, and they said, "Hey, if we don't need you, rest up another week because we're damn sure we're going to need you next week."
Yeah.
If Trey Harris comes in, if we play as well as we did, and again, completely different defense, I get it. They're not going to score 60 points on Georgia. That'd be asinine. But the performance they showed today, and again, you're right. We're still watching Georgia. They can play and they can beat Georgia if they play like they did today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a Mike, I'm just telling you, this is what I needed to see, Mike. For the longest time, I've said, Ole Miss is a good team. I think they're a better team than they were last year, but I was ready to just kind of dub them as a non-playoff squad here, even if they got the win. But the fashion they pulled it out this week, Mike, offense, defense, special teams, man, this team is going to be scary here late November.
Cousin John says Hugh's going to need some escorts on his way out of town.
Oh, damn.
How disappointed are you in I'm seeing some commentary on Sam Pittman because, again, I'm not running him out of town because of one loss. I picked Ole Miss for a reason.
Yeah.
I didn't pick him to win by 30 freaking points, though. I mean, you got to have a better showing than this. Quarterback got hurt, but not good with Texas coming up next, right?
It feels like there's two camps with Arkansas, and there's the ones that's been out on Sam this entire time, and there's ones that's been barely hanging on. And I'm not saying this was the final nail, Mike, but this was a pretty big nail that went in today, and just to show you the talent gap that they're dealing with up there in Arkansas. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think they fire midseason, but after this Texas one, I think they're going to go ahead and start searching for the next guy.
Right, because, again, if it's lopsided like that. Now, I mean, I hate to even say this, Shane, but it's like if it's like a 4-quarter ball game, I don't think you turn around and there's – because, again, they'll beat Tech, hopefully.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see still what Mizzou is. I mean, I still think there's a shot here that if you win those last two – I mean, hell, 7-5 is – That's a lot better than people anticipated for Arkansas, but it kind of feels like we're spinning our wheels a little bit here.
Well, it's how you're losing, The LSU, the games that when you want to be good at football, you want to win all of them, but if you lose, you don't want to get blown out. And LSU, now this Ole Miss game, we don't know what Texas is going to look like. Short of winning the next 3 games, I don't think Sam's back, man. I mean, that's the pressure that they're under. Now, if they close out, they beat Texas, Mizzou, and I can't remember the other team they're playing there. But if they win those 3 games, Sam may be back, But it's it's all uphill.
Now, I love bashing Hugh Freeze. You know how I do.
Yeah.
But let's give Vanderbilt some credit, too. Again, they didn't look great, but you go on the road. where we are 1 week into November. Remember, the whole discussion was, are they even going to get an SEC win? Now we got 3 SEC wins. We're playing with house money. We're going to a bowl game.
Yeah.
And again, we'll find out what South Carolina looks like tonight. We'll see, LSU. The wheels could be coming off if they get trashed by, not saying they will, but I'm saying they could. Alabama next week. So there's a real chance here. Vanderbilt, let's give them their flowers, their due. Again, this was this was a performance, Shane, that I know I just trashed it, said it looked ugly because it looked ugly as hell.
Yeah.
But even with Diego Pavia, he made some key plays, including that first touchdown. Having an average type game,
Yeah.
and winning by 10 on the road. Again, I think Auburn's pretty horrible, but at the same time, it speaks to that program that they don't need the quarterback who's getting all this attention to carry them to get them a win on the road in the SEC. I think that says how far Vanderbilt has come in a year's time.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got a lot of guys banged up too. So it speaks volumes. This was a business trip for them. They wanted to go down here. They wanted to get bowl eligible, but they talked to Coach Lee at the start of this thing, and they want to wreck some seasons, man. That the playoffs, obviously they're not going to get in there, but there's a real shot that they can knock somebody out of the playoffs, and I feel like that's the race now. The race is to get to a better bowl game, and these guys, man, you talk about a united front. They're all fighting together. They're giving everything they have. I mean, there's some players on that football field, Mike, when they're about our age, they're going to have knee problems. They're going to have ankle problems. Because they probably should have sat out, but they didn't because there's a magical season happening up there in Nashville.
Right. And so far, Shane, you're well. You got the Oklahoma game. Credit to you. Credit to you, buddy. How bad was that when they got down 7-0? I was melting down. I thought, oh, my goodness. But, of course, they did what we expected after that. But so you're 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Which one surprised you the most? Vanderbilt winning on the road or Ole Miss just completely dismantling Arkansas?
The Ole Miss one. I thought if Ole Miss won, it'd be close. Maybe a couple scores at the most. But this was just – it got out of hand. It felt like, and we'll do more of the recap tomorrow, but it felt like Green just kind of a little shook up there at the start of the game. Didn't get his confidence. When he finally got it, there would be something that they do to shoot themselves in the foot. So this is just 2 teams that are not on the same path. So yeah, for me, it was the Ole Miss blowout.
All right, we're going to keep this one short, but let me ask you this, Shane. So here's Auburn's. Yes. So again, this is not updated. The 3-6. We assume. I mean, it's going to take from what we just saw, it's going to take a lot to beat A&M, to beat Alabama. So I'm just chalking those up right now. 3-8. If, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it could. If they lose to ULM.
Mm-hmm.
I think they fire him. I think if they lose every single game the rest of the way, I think they will fire him. What percentage chance do you agree with me? 0 out of 100.
Well, they may dig in a little more to his social medias. You know what I'm saying?
Low TU is what they're.
Yeah, they may be sitting on some information that they don't want to use. So.
God, that was awful. That was awful. You know what?
Well, I'm telling you, the start of this day has been horrible, man. I'm 0-2 or 1-2, like you said, and who knows? I feel bad. Texas A&M's, they're doing cartwheels down there because they know they're probably about to get a blowout tonight. But I don't know. I'm thinking about the other picks. I just hope to God I'm not wrong on all of them.
I know I said last thing, but how about Ole Miss one last time? Let's give them their due. I mean, they just completely demolished Arkansas.
Yeah.
There was some bad taste in their mouth. I think even last week they won by 12 here, but it was not a flawless performance by any means. This was far and away, I think, their best overall performance. You could argue, I guess, South Carolina, but this one here, Shane, could this be the spark that all of a sudden here? I'm not saying any Ole Miss fans were out. But I was starting to see it, Shane. I saw many people say, well, if he wants to go to Florida, let his ass go to Florida. Now I feel like we're all bought in. This is what you need going into this mega Georgia game. Get your confidence high. I mean, fans were calling out the quarterback for fucking going out on
Yeah.
Halloween. I mean, it's stupidity. But now you got this confidence. Now Vaught Hemingway is going to be electric. I think it was anyway, but I think this takes it to another level. You got this confidence. This could be the turning point for Ole Miss.
Absolutely. I mean, I keep thinking if Dark didn't go Halloween, they may have had 100 points in this game. You know? No, this is the spark. This is the lightning game right here, Mike. We've kind of played with our food all fall here, but now we're in November. Now it's time to tighten up. Now it's time to get ready. There is no forgiveness in their schedule. They have got to perform. And games like this is going to be why a 10-2 Ole Miss team gets in, because they'll look back and say, look what they did against Arkansas, so I feel like moving forward, you're right. They are dialed in, and that Georgia Ole Miss game, God, you talk about a lot on the damn line. That one's going to be electric.
Yep. All right, last thing, Shane, we just want to shout out Vanderbilt, state champs of Alabama, 2-0 against Alabama. Appreciate you, Blake, mate, bring that to our attention. And Studio Matt just became a member. Welcome
cuz.
to the family. Appreciate you, as has Benny. Appreciate you, Betty. Welcome
Benny.
to the family. Even though I don't even want to, I'm not going to troll his team, but they're down. But he still showed up, so I do appreciate you. Let's get back to watching some football. If any emergencies are necessary, we'll hop back on. And if not, as always, tonight, power rankings. As soon as all the games are done, I'll be back with some bourbon to break it all down. Anything else before we hop off here, brother?
No, I just hope we have better games moving forward, man.
All right, I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, see you guys. Go Vols.